What's up, musical artists? I'm Jay Jonas with Beethoven. Today, I'm going to walk you through the whole process of setting up your Facebook ads to promote your music. Now, this is going to be a great guide for you artists that are new to Facebook ads and even you artists that are experienced with Facebook ads, but you might not have seen the results you wanted and are looking for new ways to step your game up. So stay tuned for the whole video. Without any further delay, let's get to it. Alright guys, so let's get the ball rolling. Now, before you even think about setting up some ads, before you even touch your mouse pad or hop on your laptop, you're going to have to come up with some goals, some objectives for what you're trying to do with these ads. Are you going to waste money? And I see it all the time. And that's why people will go on and say, well, Facebook ads don't work or they're not going to get the job done. But the truth is a lot of these people just didn't even have any goals in mind. Like they had no strategy, which is what I'm going to go through teaching you guys, that even before you start setting up your Facebook ad, you want an idea of where you're trying to go with it. And that's basically when it comes to any marketing campaign that you set up, you're going to want to have some goals in mind before you even set it up. So now when it comes to goals, the artists that I work with are most of the campaigns that I set up are usually for one of these 5 goals right here that I've got a list. And you might have different goals, but what you want to do is you want to write down, whether it's on your notepad or on your Mac, kind of what you want to get out of these Facebook ads. And then what we're going to do is we're going to link those up with actual Facebook ad objectives, campaigns. So don't worry about that. For now, let's go over these goals. So for one big one, more music video views, or a certain number of music video views. So you might be like, hey, I want to get at least 5,000 views or 10,000 views, or I want my video to go viral. There's a campaign that you can set up on Facebook for that. So that could be one of your goals. Another one, and this is obviously a big one, I see artists they want to increase their streams. They want to increase their Spotify traffic. Now, the latter is the one that you could actually do. You can't guarantee a certain number of streams. So there's no Facebook ad campaign that's going to get somebody to actually stream your music a certain amount of times. Now, what you can do is you can influence somebody to click a link and send that traffic from Facebook to your Spotify channel, where they can then decide if they want to stay and scope your music some more. And so that is more of a realistic goal right there. And yes, increasing your Spotify traffic will lead to increased streams, but you can't put a number. Like you can't be like, I want to get 100,000 streams from this campaign. You could shoot for the stars, but you just can't really dial in onto a specific number. Okay, so moving on. Another big one is for, artists obviously want to increase their followers. They want to increase their subscribers, and their likes on their Facebook page, engagement on a certain post. They want to get people to share their post, to like their post, to comment on their post. Okay, so that, there's a Facebook campaign for that. Another one, send traffic to sales funnel or wherever the artist is selling their music online. So of course there's a traffic campaign on Facebook. We'll go over that soon. And you could get that job done. And another one, last one, is to increase your brand awareness. So, your brand is you as an artist. You want more people to be aware of you, which, is this one right here. There's a campaign for increasing brand awareness. I really haven't used it much. I don't see too many artists use it much. I would usually go for an engagement campaign, which we'll go over when it comes to, increasing that awareness in terms of getting more traffic to your page, your Instagram page or your Facebook page. All right, and one thing I did not put here, and there's a campaign for, let's say you're trying to promote your event, or you for instance right now you could be doing a live stream event, and you can advertise that. You can market your Facebook event. So we'll get into that now. So once you got your goals in mind, let's go over here. Now, this is the first page that you'll come to when you're setting up your ad. Don't worry, we're going to come back to this. I'm not setting up the ad yet, but I just wanted you guys to really get, to see what type of campaigns, marketing objectives you can do with Facebook ads and Instagram ads. I want you guys, and you guys might already know this, please excuse me, this tutorial is going to be, is for people that are kind of starting out with Facebook ads. But you guys that are experienced with Facebook ads, don't worry. I'm going to have some jewels in here that I'm going to be dropping on maybe why your ads aren't performing right. And there's a lot you can learn here too. So you will get some value. Okay, so when we get back to our goals, here it says more music video views. So we'd want to come over here and try to see what campaign can get that job done, right? Well, Facebook obviously has a video views campaign, right? So that's pretty simple. That's pretty easy. That's what we're trying to do. And these other ones, right? Like increase Spotify traffic, increase your streams, and to send traffic to your sales funnel, those you're going to want to use Facebook's traffic campaign. And we're going to go more into this, so don't worry about it, but that's because our objective is we're trying to send traffic to those destinations. Now, in a nutshell, you guys, basically what Facebook does is they know people on their platform. They know the people that watch all the videos, and they know people that really like to click on the links and of posts and ads. They also know who's gonna engage with the post, like the post, like somebody's Facebook page. So they have this data on people. They know what their habits are like. And so when you pick one of these campaigns, they're gonna show your ad to people most likely to take that action. And of course, you're gonna be doing some detailed targeting, which we'll get into next. But so for instance, most of these goals with artists that I work with, they fall into one of these three, which is traffic, whether you're trying to send traffic to your Spotify or you're trying to send traffic to your website, or we got engagement, whether you're trying to, have engagement on your posts in terms of like more likes, you want more comments, you want people to share your posts, or you want people to like your page. And engagement also falls into you want to promote your Facebook event and get people to engage with that. Okay, so now that you have some goals in mind, and then you're aware of Facebook's campaign or different marketing objectives, and you want to match your goals with an objective or marketing campaign on Facebook. And once you do that, before you get started now, don't jump the gun. Before you get started, you're going to want to come up with a strategy. This is the number one reason why I see so many artists that their campaigns are not working, that they're not seeing the results that they want. And it's simply because they go in without a strategy. They might have some goals in mind, but they expect to meet them all. So when it comes to a campaign or setting up a campaign, you're going to focus on one goal at a time. A lot of artists I see, they want their music video to go viral. They want to send traffic to their Spotify channel. They want all this, and they want to do it in one campaign, and it just does not work like that. So you got to be realistic. Think of one goal at a time, and have one goal in mind for every campaign that you set up. Now, getting back to the strategy. There's many strategies when it comes to promoting or marketing your music through Facebook ads. This strategy right here is definitely a solid strategy. I know a lot of artists that use this, independent artists that use this, and they even use this in the mainstream. It's also something that's not too hard to learn. So for instance, I'll go over this quickly, and guys, don't worry, I'm going to be setting up this ad for you or to show you the whole get down. So if you're confused, don't worry. So basically what we're going to do is set up this video views campaign, and then we're going to run it for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and we're going to stack up views, and we're going to take notice on how many people are watching a certain amount of the video. Then after that, we're going to set up a custom audience of people that had watched 25% of that video. So of all the video views that we got, we're going to create a custom audience to target with our next ad of people that watched at least 25% of that video. So if somebody watches 25% of your video, I feel like that's a good marker point that it shows that they're interested. And then after that, we're going to create a lookalike audience of people that are similar to that audience of people that watch 25%. Okay, everybody, so now that you've got some goals, some objectives in mind, and you also have a strategy in mind, it's time to gather your assets. And when I say assets, I mean the content that you're going to use to promote your music, to run your campaigns, okay? So I always say that video is king. Okay, you're going to want some video content. You're not going to want to share a picture of yourself and say, click the link so you could get to my music. You do not want people to jump through hoops. People's attention spans are short, especially when they're on social media or will you'll be advertising on online. So you want to capture their attention quick and let them quickly get to your music so they can decide whether they like it or not. So you're going to want to use some kind of music video, and I suggest that you use some kind of like sneak peek or preview for your music video to advertise first, and then you run a traffic ad, which we'll get to next, where you'll advertise your full music video. So here's an artist that I'm working with from the UK. He's a hip hop artist. His name is Ultra Eco. And I put together this sort of like sneak peek preview combining a couple of his music videos from his singles from this album. And I put them together to promote this album that he's releasing that we'll be promoting with Facebook ads. So I'm gonna give you guys a little preview just so you can see.
King of the wild things. You the king of the wild things. With a broken crown slumped across this broken throne. And I wonder how low I can go. Then I reach out.
All right. So basically what we're doing is we're promoting his two singles that he had posted on Spotify, as well as his album that will be released on Spotify after we run our promotions. And yes, so you're going to want some kind of video content, you guys. You know, you don't have to break the bank to get it made. Let's say you got a song, but you got no music video for it. I suggest that you could check out Fiverr.com. If you don't have a music video made, if you want some quick music video content so you could promote your song or your project, you could always come to Fiverr.com, and they've got freelancers that are that are pretty well priced. I won't say cheap, but economical for sure. And so here I'm on Fiverr.com, and I just searched up here lyrical music video, and here's some results that I got. And this could give you an idea of what you could do.
I know you want me. Everything I told you when you're lonely. Yeah, you see, you think you know me, but you don't even know nothing about me. Yeah. You see my thick thighs.
So something like this, it definitely will capture somebody's attention who sees it way better than a static image or even, just a plain video. That's not really interesting. So, and this is starting at $25. This person's got a 5.0 rating. So, they've done a lot of jobs, 261. So, you might want to work with this this seller right here to create you a lyric video. And there are plenty of options on Fiverr. And even if you don't want a lyric video, let's say you want a music video, you don't want to edit. Let's say you got some film that you did with you and your friends or yourself. And you want somebody to put it together for a music video, you could go to Fiverr and search music video, and you've got a bunch of options. Here's one. I'll create animated background for a YouTube music video. I'll produce your visual music video or lyric video. And as you can see, these sellers, these freelancers, have high ratings, and they have had a lot of jobs. So right here, you can see this is the star rating, perfect 5.0, top rated seller, has worked with 921 people. So this person is experienced, and you're probably going to get some quality work, and it's starting at $160, still not breaking the bank. So yeah, you guys, there's no excuses, but you're gonna need some visual content. You're gonna need some video content, especially if you want to compete and stand out from the noise that's on social media today. Okay, now in terms of gathering your assets, that's pretty much what you guys are gonna need. But you guys are gonna also need to set up a Facebook page for your brand, for your band, for you as an artist. I'm not gonna walk you through that. There's plenty of guides. It's super simple. But the most important thing, you guys, is you're gonna have to set up a Facebook Ads Manager. Now, this is a Facebook Ads Manager. This is where you're gonna be setting up and putting together your ads. Don't let all this crazy stuff here confuse you yet, or you might already are very familiar with Facebook Ads Manager, but you're going to want to set one of these up. I am going to post a link at the bottom of this video that runs you through how to set up your Facebook Ads manager, your Facebook business manager, and this is where you're going to want to run your ads. You're not going to want to boost your post through Facebook or through Instagram. I mean, you could always do that. I'm sure that's what you might be doing, but to be honest, the targeting options are less. The metrics are less. All these are important factors when you're trying to run a successful campaign. And they could be factors of why you're not running a successful campaign in the first place if you're not. So anyways, you guys, you're going to want to set those up before we could even get started. But before we do that, the most important part of setting up these campaigns, setting up these ads, is figuring out what your targeting is going to be, right? So who do you want Facebook to show these ads to? Right now, you might already have a custom audience built up. You have an email list you want to target, and you could use that to show your ads to. You might also you might want to advertise to your Facebook page followers, or people that like your Facebook page, or people that follow your Instagram page. All of those options are available. For this example, we're going to be targeting cold traffic. So cold traffic are people that have not heard of you yet, right? We're trying to warm them up to develop an interest into your music, into your brand. And that's what I'm doing with this artist. This artist he's from the UK. He's already got a fan base built in the UK. He's trying to spread his exposure over to America, specifically California. That's where I'm at. So this is all going to have to come in mind when you do your targeting. Now, luckily, there's a tool on Facebook that helps with all this, and I'm going to show you that. So let's say you're in your ads manager, which we see right here, and Facebook just updated its platform, and it looks different, and it might kind of confuse you. It kind of did for me, so it took a bit to get used to it and kind of just see where everything's at. If you go to the left of the page, you'll see business tools. And when you click on that, you have these options. You're going to want to scroll down until you see analyze and report. And under that, there's audience insights. So I want you to click that. So now that we're in audience insights, this tool right here is going to help you get a scope on who your audience is that you're trying to target, where they're at on Facebook. And Facebook allows you to target people through various ways. I'm going to click over here. This is basically like a rundown of how you could target people with Facebook ads. You might already know this, and if you do, feel free to skip ahead. But there's actually some valuable stuff here that people look over, and I think it's an issue that they face when they don't get the results they want with their ads. So obviously, Facebook allows you to target people through your location. Through their location, which is cities, communities, countries, wherever you want, wherever geographically you want your ads to be displayed. Now, you could also target people obviously through demographics, whether that's age, gender, education, job title, and more. And what's really important to know is that you could target people by their interests. And that's what is different between Facebook or Google ads and Facebook ads. Where Google ads, you're trying to bid on certain keywords that people are using when they're searching in Google. Here you're going to be bidding, or not bidding, you're going to be targeting people by their demographics, obviously the location, but also by their interests. So what interests they show on Facebook, whether they like certain Facebook pages, whether they like certain topics. So interests, we'll get back to that. Another thing that a lot of people don't know is behavior. So what behavior do people have? Do they purchase online a lot? Do they purchase what's their shopping behavior? What are they interested in? Vinyl? Are they interested in purchasing music? You could target people by their behavior. And lastly, these are connections. So targeting people that are connected to your Facebook page or event, and things like that. Okay, so back to audience insights. Now, so this artist, he wants us to target people not only in the United States, but in California. So we're going to take off in location. We're going to take off United States. We're going to put California. Now, this is just to get the targeting. You guys do not have to do this. You can pick your targeting options in Facebook when you're running your Facebook ads. I like to use this because I want to have everything ready before I even start. So I don't want to be, I don't want to be held up when I'm setting up my ads. I want to have all my assets and everything ready. So we're targeting California. Age, we're going to keep that open. We're going to let Facebook tell us that. And if you look to the right here, these are the demographics of people that use Facebook in California. They're 54% women, 46% men. All right. And then we've got here, the age frame is between 25 and 34. You guys probably already know this. So we're going to keep the age open. Now, interest. Now, you guys, as artists, this is very important, this part here. I suggest that you target, okay, if you're targeting cold traffic, people that haven't heard of you, you got to really think about, who do you sound like? Like what genre are you in? And do you have a sound that's similar? Like, who's your inspirations? Who inspired your music? Can you relate your music to a certain artist that's mainstream? And that's who you're gonna, because obviously if those fans like that artist, they might be up for liking you if you feel like your sound is similar. And I know as artists, I know a lot of you guys are like, hey, well, my sound is very unique, and I totally understand that. But you guys want to think about, you don't want to just target people that are interested in rap. You want to go more in depth than that. Like, let's say you're a hip hop artist. I think a lot of people have interest in hip hop, but they might not be big fans of hip hop. So you want to be more in depth with that. Anyways, I'm going to give you guys an example. For the artist Ultra Eco that I told you guys before, like, I took a chance to look at his music.
King of the wild things.
Okay.
You the king of the this broken phone.
Okay.
And I wonder how low I can go. Then I reach out to Lord.
So after I've listened to his music, and I listened to it thoroughly, like I really checked out the artist, and I really kind of got the feel of him, and I realized, I was like, his music is cool, but it's kind of strange. So I was like, what does that sound like, right? And not only that, is he somebody that's underground that I feel like could build a cult following with people. So I think about artists that are famous in California, which we're going to be running these ads in, that are somewhat strange. An artist that came to mind is an artist named Tech9, right? So Tech9, you guys might know, he's a super famous independent artist. He did it on his own, and he built up a solid brand of loyal followers, and his label's called Strange Music. And yeah, they've got like a super loyal following, and they do great, and it's all independent. So when I searched that art, and I feel like this artist, he kind of, that's what came to mind. It was Tech9's label, Strange Music, and I feel like, hey, maybe we could target fans of them because they might like my artist's music too, because it's similar, it's unique music. And so yeah, so basically when I did that, you could tell that Tech9's fans are between the ages of 25 to 34, majority, big number. But what's important, you guys, is you want to come here to page likes, because you want to dive more in depth. And that name, Tech9, whoever you're planning on targeting, or whoever that you pull up here. And another reason why this is good, you guys, because this will let you know what pages you could actually target, or what interests you could target. So you might, for instance, see like E40 is right here. But if I put E40 in here to search, hopefully he does come up, because he's a legend and a king. Nice. I don't know why they got him as producer, but he shows up here. A lot of times they'll show you pages that you think you'll be able to target, but when you actually search for them, looking to target them, you can't. Like, Facebook doesn't allow you to. I don't know why. That's the algorithm. Okay, so then when I pulled that up, right, I look down here to page likes, and these are, if you want to click over here to affinity, which means that people that liked Tech9 are most likely to like these other artists. Now I see Strange Music here, and that's Tech9's record label, and I definitely want to target this too. So I'm going to open this in another link just to look at this page to make sure that page is something that I feel like the people that like this page will also like my artist that I'm working with. And to be honest, yeah, this is Strange Music Inc. These are people that like Tech9's artists that are under his label, and it's kind of strange music, good, unique, cool music, but a little bit strange. So yeah, I'll definitely want to target this page. Now, you guys, you're going to want to keep a notepad to keep a list of the artists that you want to target. You could use Google Docs, things like that. But just real quick, I would just come here and I would copy this and simply just hold it here, because these are what we're going. Once we set up our ad, we're going to have these targeting options, right? Tech9 is also one of them. Right, so copy this. So now once we set up our ad, we already, we got some things in mind. We're not going to get stuck in there. And then, what I see is that artists are so eager to get that ad up. They're so excited to get that music video up that they just kind of run through setting up the ad and then wonder why there's little results. But you guys, you got to take your time, get your targeting right, and really kind of optimize things to get it to run, optimally, to get the results that you want. So you're going to want at least 10 different things you could target. And yeah, it's always good to have a steady list. So you guys, basically in a nutshell, you'll go down page likes and you'll check out these different pages. For instance, there's Brother Lynch Hung, right? He's signed to that. Okay, here's his page. Oh, he signed to Strange Music. Okay, he's got a similar fan base than Tech9. And okay, so I'm gonna want to target him. But before I do that, let me make sure I can target him. So I'll go here to interest, and I'll type Brother Lynch. And no, you can't target him. So I wouldn't be able to target him, even though I could pull up his page. So that's why you want to do your research, guys. You want to take your time with this. For certain artists, I've spent hours coming up with targeting options. And I'll tell you what, if I didn't, I would have wasted a lot of money, because that's what you're going to do if you don't figure out your targeting first. You're going to waste a lot of money. Once you key in your targeting, it's going to make things a lot better, a lot smoother, and it's going to save you that money that you'll be wasting on ads. We're not trying to gamble here, you guys. This is not you're not going into a casino and throwing a 20 into a machine and hoping that the gold coins come out. That's not how Facebook ads work. Strategy, understanding the platform, all that stuff might be boring to you, but it's very important. Now it's time to finally set up and create this ad. So while you're in Ads Manager, you're going to want to come down here to the left, and you'll notice this green button right here. You're going to want to give that a click. Now, here's where we're going to choose our campaign. We're going to choose our marketing objective. So if you didn't have a strategy in mind, well, you'd come here and you'd probably get a little confused, or you do what I see a lot of artists do, and you would just, kind of fake it till you make it. Pick something not knowing exactly what you're doing. But we figured out a strategy. We came up with one before we even started this. So our strategy was to first set up a video views campaign. Now there's some other things, but don't worry, we'll get to that next. So we're gonna come over here, video views campaign, there it is, right? So that's the one we're selecting. Now you wanna scroll down here, and this is where you name your campaign. You guys, I suggest you name your campaign because you're probably gonna be setting up a lot of different campaigns. And so this is going to make it so things are more organized, creates a lot less of a headache when you're trying to go back and look at your analytics or, do different things to your ads. So this is Ultra Eco we're working with. We're doing a video views campaign, and you can put whatever else you want. Now these other options, you guys, A/B testing, very important. A/B testing is simply you're going to set up a campaign and you're going to test different creative, either use different ad creatives, or you're going to want to test different placement options, whether you want to test whether an ad does better in somebody's news feed or when it comes up into their Messenger or Facebook stories or Instagram stories. I'm not getting into that right now. That is something I'll get into in a later video. And campaign budget optimization is something I really don't use or haven't used yet. But for now, you guys, we're just going to keep it, pretty simple here. So I wouldn't worry about A/B testing, but I would learn about this, and because it is definitely something that's going to help you basically optimize. You're trying to figure out here, you're testing. It's all about testing, you guys. You're not going to just set up one ad. It's going to, hit big. It might, but usually you have to test a bunch of different things and see what works. So boom, now we picked our campaign. That's the first step, you guys. Here's to pick the ad set. This is where we dial in all of our targeting options and our budget and everything like that. Once again, you could pick an ad set name. So the first thing we did was set up our campaign. Now we're setting up our ad set. So this is going to be targeted in California. And the artist is Ultra Eco. Right? And then, right, even if I wanted to I could put what we're going to be targeting, right? Because I have some targeting options. I could put that up there, because once you're running all these ads, things do get congested and it's annoying to look through something when all the ad set names have the same title. But we won't go down that. We won't spend too much time doing that. All right, you guys. So this is where probably the most important part of this whole tutorial is here. Custom audiences. Guys, we're getting into that next. So don't worry about this. Location. Well, as I told you, that artist wanted us to promote the album in California. So that's where we're going to be targeting, you guys. And you might have different ideas yourself. You might be in Miami, and you might want your music just to be promoted on Miami Beach, just in that area, not even the whole Florida, cities, whatever. You could really dial in. But for here, we're doing California. Age frame. Well, when we looked, and you guys, sometimes I keep this open and then I let the ad run, and then you'll be able to see what age frame is interacting with your ad the most, and that's who you'd want to target in the future. But you guys, let's be honest, somebody that's 18 years old is probably not going to be purchasing your music or taking too much action on your ads. When we looked at that, when we were doing our audience insights, if you notice, Tech9's audience was between 25 and 35. It's safe to say that this artist's audience will be the same. We could go a little bit higher than that, 40. I would stick with all genders just to see, because there might be the ladies might like it too. It might be majority men, but you do not want to cut off the ladies. You guys, now this is where the most important part, detailed targeting. This is interests, behaviors, la-di-da. This is what you need to know right here. So, but if you came here and you didn't have any preparation, you didn't create a list, this would confuse you. You would think, what do I put here? And you might not put much of anything. You might put hip hop music, right? So let's go put hip hop music. How many fans of hip hop music are in California that are in that age frame? You guys, 6,900,000 that use Facebook that are in California. That's a lot. That's too broad, you guys. And if your budget's not huge, you're not going to reach that amount. So that's not ideal. That's not optimal. Now, what you can do is you can narrow this audience. So if you look under right here where my mouse is at, narrow audience. Now, what this means is, and I'm going to put on my list, we're trying to target Tech9. So I'm going to put Tech9. Okay. Wow, you guys. So check this out. Now my audience is at 170,000. It's not too broad. It's still in that green spot. If you look over your audience side, in the middle is nice, but as long as it's not in that yellow, which is too broad, and not in that red, which is too specific, you're looking good. I say anything from 100,000 up to 1 million is good when you're targeting cold traffic. So that's good, you guys. So what this means is that the person that sees this ad is going to be in California. They're going to be between the ages of 25 and 40, and your demographics might be different. Like I said, this is hip hop, and this is even specific. This is Tech9 type of kind of exclusive underground hip hop here in California. And this is, their fan base is in majority in between these ages. We're keeping the genders open, and with our detailed targeting, we're going to want the people who see this ad to fit in those demographics, and we want them to obviously be a fan of hip hop music, but also they must also be a fan of Tech9. And that brings our audience down to 170,000. That's a great starting point. Now I could also now you could also stack interests. So let's say this was like 90,000. That's not a lot, right? Well, for one, you could just take off hip hop music right here and just target Tech 9, which would give you 180,000 people. But let's say this is too small, right? It's 90,000 people, and you want to have a bigger potential reach, okay? Well, now you could start stacking your interest. So instead of narrowing it down, you just stack. And all you have to do is just put right here, what was on our list? The next one was strange music. So let's put that here, strange music. Strange Music Inc. And you guys want to look at the size. Strange Music Inc., that's 6,000, that's not a big enough size. So the one above that, 499,000, that's obviously a lot bigger. That's the one I'm trying to target. Boom. See how we stacked it? Now look at our potential reach, 240,000 people. And like I said, you guys, up to 1 million is good. So you want to look at your list. That's why you create a list. Now we only use 2 people or created 2 people. You want a bigger list, like 10 to 20 people. And you'll just keep stacking them until you get the number that you like. Like I said, from 100,000 to 1 million is a good number or a good sweet spot. Okay. Now you scroll down, you guys got languages. So if you're trying to target this ad to a certain country, you're going to want to make sure that people speak your language. But I usually, leave this open. It's obviously we're targeting it into an English-speaking country, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, another important part, you guys, is placements. Now, it always starts with automatic placement. That's like what it starts at. You guys, I suggest manual placements to save money. And myself, the only placements I really advertise on are Facebook newsfeed and Instagram newsfeed. And you're going to want to make sure that your video content that you're using fits both Instagram and Facebook. You want to make sure everything fits so your ads are going to run optimally. So look, you guys, it was going to show the ads to, if I would have kept it on automatic, it would have showed those ads to all those different places, in apps, in sites, in articles that people read Messenger. You guys, that's interrupting people's experience. Think of yourself. How many times have you been on Messenger chatting to a chick or some girl or whatever, and an ad popped up and you said, ooh, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to click this thing? Probably not many times, but when it's in your feed, it's a little less intrusive. And if it's interesting, most likely you're going to check it out. So, like I said, you guys, newsfeed, Facebook news, stick it with the newsfeed. If you do different, found results, then do what you do. It's all about testing. I'm not going to say this is one size fit all. It's very, very diverse, especially when it comes to advertising on Facebook. All right, you guys. So now is your budget. So there's some confusion here. You could set a budget at $500 a day. Does that mean you're going to get a huge amount of people taking action on your ad or viewing your video, rather than if you were spending 20? To be honest, it's not going to be a huge difference. I suggest a budget between $5 and $20 a day. Now, if you have a budget that's considerable, let's say you could spend $20 a day for at least 2 weeks. Remember, you guys, when you're promoting an album or you're promoting a single or whatever, you're going to want at least 2 weeks to a month. I say 2 to 3 weeks of time to promote that, or a month. People are different here, but you're going to want some time. I suggest that you try doing a $5 a day budget. And let's say you've got a lot of interests, you guys, and you can't use them all because you're getting too broad. Set up another ad set with the same campaign, which I'll show you in a second. And then use those other interests. It's all about testing. You're trying to test to see what interests are going to work best and give you the best results. All right, you guys. So now it's time to continue. All right, you guys. So this is where you're going to set up your ad creative. This is what people are going to see, like the actual ad itself. Now, you could set up your ad creative in Ads Manager, which is what I'm doing here, or you could set it up on your own page, which means you post on your page and then you go into Ads Manager and you use that post to advertise. I suggest you do that because then the post is always on your page. But if you don't, you can also do it through Ads Manager. In this example, that's what I'm going to be doing. So when you get down here, it's going to tell you to choose your Facebook page. Beethoven, my company, is what I'm going to be choosing. And then since we're going to be advertising on both Instagram and Instagram and Facebook, I also suggested my Instagram page also. Now is here where we go create an ad. So this is where you create an ad in Ads Manager, or you can pick use existing post. That's if you want to use a post from your page. Now, I don't have any posts on my page currently, so I'm not going to use it. I'm going to create it right here, you guys. So if you want to create it here, you'll scroll down and then you'll go to add video. And here I've got the video that I made for this artist. And so I'm going to press continue. And this is going to take some time to load. All right, so this is showing what the ad looks like on both placements on mobile devices. So this is what it's going to look like on Instagram. This is what it's going to look like on Facebook. And what's important, you guys, is if you look to the left, text and links, right? This is what people are going to see, the description of the video. This is the hook. This is where you want to hook people in to build that interest. This is very important. This is another step I see artists skip over. So you're going to pick add website or URL, because here we're optimizing for video views, but we still want to have, if that viewer of the ad wants to click the ad and then go to where we're trying to send them, that's great. We want that. So up here on where primary text, this is what they're going to see first, right? This is what they're going to read. This is where you want to hook them in. This is where artists will go, hey, check out my new video, press play, That's all right. That's cool. But you guys, like I said, people's attention spans are harder to reach, it's harder to build that interest and a buzz online with the standard, right? You're going to want to think outside the box if you want people to click on your video, if you want people to be interrupted, if you want people to actually take action and to view your ad and to look at it. You're going to want something that entices them, something that builds their interest. So right here under primary text, you're going to want to put something that captures their interest. So think about it. So this artist is like, I could put something like, new music video shocking people around. New music video has shocked people around. Has shocked its viewers. New music video has shocked its viewers. You guys want to come up with something creative here. You want to think outside the box. Don't just put, hey, listen to my new music. Put something, think of something that's going to stop somebody when they're scrolling in their feed. Like, what's something that's going to, stop and capture somebody's attention, and you don't want it to be clickbaity. If it's clickbaity, your ad will not get approved. You don't want to be a false promise. You don't want to be anything that's like too sexual or, you do not want your Facebook ad to not be approved, because what will happen is Facebook will take time to look at your ad to make sure it fits its guidelines, and it will take up to 24 to 48 hours where you'll have to wait and just to tell you no. So make sure you stay into the guidelines, and I suggest you Google what Facebook guidelines are just so you know, get used to those. But I'm going to keep it short and simple. I put new music video has shocked its viewers across the globe. Because his video is it's interesting. It's his music videos are visually appealing. Okay, so and that appears down there. You can keep it short and sweet. You can keep it long and drawn out. I've seen both. It kind of depends on your audience. But when cold traffic, they're not going to be reading too much. So keep it short and sweet. So here we go, website URL. Now this is very important. So this is where you're going to want to send the traffic. So if they actually click on your ad, which is the goal, where do you want to send them? Whether that's to your streaming platform, your Spotify channel, whether that's to your YouTube channel, whether that's to your sales funnel so you can sell your music. This is where you'll want to put that. And even though this ad is optimized for video views, so people that are most likely to view it and not click on it, it's still, people are still gonna most likely click on it, and we're gonna get some traffic from this. Now here's a call to action button. This is important because this, when people see this, they go, oh, okay, I could learn more, or oh, I could listen to it more. Or so you could put, since it's a video and you want somebody to listen to it, you could put listen now. You could put learn more, but I would put listen now. All right, you guys, so now we got our ad created. We've got pretty much everything set up. I mean, everything's almost ready to go here. We just need to press this green confirm button and this thing will go live. Now, Facebook will take some time to review it and to check it out, but this is pretty much what you need to do to set up this ad. Now here you see Facebook Pixel. Now, if you guys don't know, Facebook Pixel, if you were trying to sell your music on your website, on your sales funnel, you could set up a Facebook Pixel on your website, so Facebook will keep track of all the actions people take when they land on it from your ad, whether that's they buy or maybe they listen to it, but then they click off. You could see, and from those analytics, you'll be able to really see like what's stopping people from actually taking that final action of purchasing your music. That's a little bit more in depth, but I'll get into that in another video. Facebook Pixel is important, but for this example, we're sending this. We're going to be sending traffic after we promote these videos to this artist's streaming platform. So you can't set up a Facebook Pixel on Spotify yet, but hopefully in the future. So you guys, what you want to do next is press this green button. Facebook will tell you that it's all good, or that you'll need to make some corrections. And if everything's all good, it'll be under review, and that could take anywhere from an hour to 24 hours. The longer it takes, the most likely it will be denied. So you guys, this is how you go about setting up your Facebook ad for video views. Now, next we're going to be setting up a custom audience, and we're going to be setting up another ad to make this strategy whole. All right. So now we're going to move on to the second part of this strategy, which is setting up a traffic campaign. Okay. So you guys, we set up that video views campaign. Now you should let that video, depending on your budget, right? You should let it run for at least a week, 2 weeks, and stack up those video views. Okay, now here we are on Ads Manager. Here's an artist that I was working with. I've set this ad up a little while ago. This is Ultra Eco. And unfortunately, this was a while ago, so the metrics are not still here. But what you want to do, let's say this is the campaign. These are the metrics right here, you guys. We'll go a little bit more into this at the end of this video. Don't trip. But for video views, what you'll want to do is you'll want to come over here to columns, and that says performance. You want to click it, and you'll want to go video engagement. Now this is going to tell us the metrics of the video. Unfortunately, there's no metrics. I ran this ad a while back. But after you've ran your campaign or your campaigns for your video views, these are going to be stacking up. You should be seeing video plays at 25%, video plays at 50%. And what this means is this is going to tell you how many times somebody watched a video longer than 25% or 50% or 75 to 90, these 95% to 100%. These are very, very important. And the reason why is because you guys think about this, and I've mentioned it before, people's attention spans are shorter by the day. And not only that, there's so much great content that gets released on Facebook daily. It's really hard to capture people's attention. It's hard to keep them interested and to stand out from the noise. So when you look at your video and you see that people are watching, you have a large number of people watching, more than 25%, 50%, 75%, and this is cold traffic that you're targeting, that's good right there. That shows that these people are really interested. So these metrics matter the most when you are running your Facebook ads for video views. All right, so those are important. So after you set up that video views campaign, and if you let your video and you let it run for at least a week, and you might be testing out different ad options, you're going to want to see which campaign obviously did the best in terms of what had the most video views, video plays, and what had the most like video plays past 25%. So people that watched 25% or more. Okay, you guys. So now we're getting to the second part of this strategy. Like I said, we're going to be setting up a traffic campaign. But before we do that, we're going to be putting together a custom audience and a lookalike audience. So to do that, you'll want to go up here to the top left to Business Tools, and you'll want to scroll down and you'll see Audiences. All right, now here's where you create an audience, and it's super simple. All you got to do is come over here to the left and you'll put create a custom audience. What we're doing is we're going to create an audience of people that watched a majority of the video. So obviously there are different options. There's, website, people that have been to your website. There's your customer list, your email list, people that have been on your app or things like that. People that have been on or follow your Instagram business profile, have taken action on your events, things like that. But for this is for people that watch a certain amount of a video, okay? And then up here, you're gonna pick, okay, so people that watched at least 3 seconds of your video, you could put that. But to be honest, 3 seconds is not that long. So, if somebody watched 3 seconds, does that show that they're really interested? If that's all they watched? I wouldn't say, but you could. I usually pick people who have watched 25% of the video, right? So that's either they've watched at least 25% or more, and it shows that they were interested. And like I said, it's hard to capture that interest, especially on social media. So here's how many days. So, you could leave it at 365. It doesn't, if your ads have been running, it depends on how long your ads have been running. And then you'll want to pick an audience name. So you could put 25% view. And this is Ultra Eco, the artist I'm working with. Like I said, when you come up with a good title, or you want to name your custom audiences so it doesn't confuse you, because you'll be making a lot of different audiences if you're doing a lot of different marketing. Okay, so boom. Under this, you're going to want to pick choose videos. And this is where you'll find a video that's on your Facebook page. They'll let you choose a Facebook page, or they'll let you choose a campaign or an Instagram profile. So let's say that you've got a certain post on Instagram and you want to target people that interacted with that post, whether they liked it, shared it, or commented it. You could target them. You could target people that engage with your post. But for this, we're going to be targeting, but for this example, we're using the video that we are promoting on the campaign. But for this example, we're starting fresh, so we don't, but for this example, since we set up the video on the campaign, that's where we're going to use the target. And here, once I picked campaign, you could see traffic, Ultra Eco, Twisted. Those are the titles that I put on it so I could find it easily. So once we pull that up, you can see there's the video. And since this ad is old, it's not going to let me rerun it. And I do not want to set up a new, since I've already set up an audience for this, it's not going to let me do it twice. But you'll just want to click the video and then press confirm. And then you will have an audience set up. It will be right here. And as you can see, that's the audience that I got. So the reason why we're coming up with this custom audience is because first we started by advertising to cold audiences. These are people that are not familiar with your music. Now we create this custom audience of people that have watched more than 25%. So these are people that have watched, and since they watched that much, it's safe to say that they've developed some kind of interest. Now, that's what we're trying to do here. They're more warmed up. They understand your brand. So this is where we want to lead them farther into the funnel and actually try to get them to click our ad and to drive that traffic to the streaming platform or wherever this music is being sold. So now that we got this custom audience, we'd want to create a lookalike audience. We first set up our custom audience of people that watch 25% or more of the video. I know if you see here it says 50% more. I wanted to, kind of test to see what it would be like. And the truth is that it's better, in my opinion, to start with 25% or more of the video. But if you've got like a massive amount of people that watch more than 50% of your video, then you could start with that. Obviously, people that watch 50%, at least 50% of the video, are more interested than the people that watched at least 25% of it. So what we're going to do is create a lookalike audience of people that are similar to those people that watch the majority of our video. So people that share the same traits and interests. Facebook has this data. Don't ask me how. They know everything about you. But I'm just playing. But anyways, you'll want to come up here, click the create audience button, and you'll see lookalike audience. Okay, so here you'll want to pick a lookalike audience source. So that could be, here it says Beethoven's Pixel. So let's say that you had a pixel on your website and you want to create a lookalike audience of people that are similar to the people that visit your website. You can do that. But what we're doing for this example is simply matching it up with the custom audience we made. So if you go to other sources, you'll see 50% Ultra Eco. There's the custom audience. So here for select audience location, depending on where you're targeting, you might want to put that. But if you want to keep it open, like you're trying to just target people, wherever around the world or around your location, that's okay. Now here for the third selection, you guys, select audience size. Facebook says audience size ranges from 1% to 10% of the combined population of your selected locations. A 1% lookalike audience consists of the people most similar to your lookalike source. Increasing the percentage creates a bigger, broader audience. So depending how large you want your audience to be, you'll want to increase that. I suggest starting out somewhere in the middle, maybe a little bit less, and then there you go. So when you're done with that, you want to pick create audience, and then you'll have a custom audience and then also a lookalike audience for the targeting options of the ad that we're going to be setting up next. The final ad that we're going to be setting up, which is going to be a traffic campaign that's going to be leading the people that click on it to this artist's streaming platform. So we could collect those streams. We are literally at the final stretch here. We're on the second part of this ad, which is to create a traffic campaign where we'll be using that custom audience and that lookalike audience to target to drive traffic to this artist's Spotify profile. So I'm going to run through this pretty quick because the process is pretty much the same as setting up that views campaign, that video views campaign. You're going to want to come to this beautiful green button over here that says create, and you're going to want to click that. You're going to be brought down to where you're going to be brought to the campaign, choose a campaign menu. And here, where last time we choose the video views, we're going to be choosing a traffic campaign. Come up with a different name, traffic campaign, what's your artist name, or something that's just going to help you be able to find this ad amongst all the other ones you got going on. So Ultra Eco, traffic, we're not going to be doing the A/B test, confirm. Now you guys, you're going to set this up pretty much the same that we set it up last time, right? The difference is here when it comes to targeting these audience, or when it comes to picking our audience, we're going to simply come here to our custom audiences, and you'll see there's 50% Ultra Eco. And then if you guys made that lookalike audience, there should be a lookalike audience right there. We were unable to complete it because I've used this in the past. So it will say lookalike audience, and it should be there. You'll want to click that. So now you have all your targeting options. You don't really have to worry about this because that's already detailed enough, right? If we already got that dialed in. So you'll want to scroll down here. It's the same process, manual placement. You're going to want to only show your video in Instagram or Facebook news feeds. So uncheck all these boxes because you do not want to be wasting money. But hey, maybe this is something that works for you. Like I said, one size does not fit all. For me, I haven't seen the best results, and I felt like I was wasting my marketing dollars by promoting or by showcasing my ad in those placements. And then down to the bottom, back to the budget, right? Here we're looking for link clicks. but you could also optimize for landing page views. I suggest you do that, you guys, because just because somebody clicks your link does not mean that you know whether they landed on your page. Now, here's the thing though, you guys, is that if you don't have a Facebook pixel, they're not going to really be able to tell if somebody really landed on your page and stayed and how long they stayed. So if you're sending that traffic to that Spotify, someplace you can't really track what people are doing when they're there, you could just optimize for link clicks. And like I said, a budget of 5 to 20. But since you're not testing different targeting, I suggest you do something a little higher than 5, maybe 10 to 15. So we'll do $10. Boom, confirm. You guys, and here is where, okay, so you could use an existing ad that we created before. But you guys, in this strategy, I suggest you do something a little bit different. So, and this is what I didn't share with you in the beginning. I suggest that you start the video views campaign by promoting a sneak peek of your music video, which is similar to what I showed. The video that I showed you guys was a sneak peek of his music videos and also a promotion of his album release. And so you start by doing that, and then when you do this traffic campaign, you'll create a new ad, and then you'll use your full video, right? So this is to show them, like, here's the full video, you guys. If you're interested, our music is gonna be only on streaming platforms for a certain amount of time, or whatever you can entice them, because these people are these custom audiences or lookalike audience, they're more interested than that cold audience, right? They've already known you. This is the second time that they're going to see an ad from you, so you don't want to hit them with the same ad or the same sales copy, the same headline, the same. You want to change it up, right? Maybe share something like, hey, here's the full music video, click now if you want to check out, if you want to stream it on Spotify, or if you want to watch. This is where you want to call them into action. So make sure that they know to click your link. Tell them what you would like them to do, right? If you don't tell them, I always like that term, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So that's where you want to call them into action. And then you guys, to finish it up, you're going to set up your ad the same way that I showed you, or you're going to use a existing post, the one that you'd use in the video views, and then you'll go to the bottom and you'll press confirm. All right. And of course, you're going to want to shut off. If you guys had that video views campaign, you could either keep it going or you could shut it off now that you got the traffic campaign going. That's up to you. But now you got the traffic campaign going. All right, everybody. So before I wrap up this video, I would like to kind of go over an overview with you. I walked you guys through how to set up some goals, some objectives, how to link those with Facebook's campaigns. I also taught you guys a strategy you could use that I see artists using in the industry all the time today. I walked you through your targeting options, how to gather your assets, how to set up fully a Facebook ad, how to read through some of the metrics to gauge whether your ad's performing well or not. And I hope that you found value from this video. And if you do, guys, please like, subscribe, maybe even share. If you have any comments, please comment. I love engaging with new artists. Much love always. Peace.